XRP at $5? That's the number circulating in crypto circles right now. And unlike the usual hype, this time there's real data behind it. South Korea, of all places, is leading the charge. Yes, South Korea, a country known for passionate, fast-moving crypto investors, is suddenly accumulating XRP at levels we haven't seen in months. And when Korea makes a move, the rest of the world tends to pay attention. The question isn't just whether XRP can reach $5, it's whether this Korean accumulation is the spark that ignites the next major leg up. Over the past few weeks, trading volume on Korean exchanges like Upbit and Bithumb has exploded. At one point, XRP was accounting for nearly 30% of all trading activity on Upbit. Tens of millions of dollars were moving in a single day, just on that one exchange, and just for XRP. That's not casual trading. That's a strong signal that buyers see value here and are positioning themselves before the broader market even notices. This kind of liquidity surge doesn't happen by accident. But why South Korea? And why now? If you know anything about Korean crypto traders, sometimes called kimchi premium traders, you know they have a history of moving markets. In 2017, Korean retail and institutional buyers helped drive Bitcoin and altcoins to historic highs, often before the rest of the world caught on. XRP is no exception. When Korean investors start piling in, global markets tend to follow. And this week, on-chain analytics show that roughly 16 million XRP, worth over $45 million, were bought in a single day, mostly around $2.85 to $2.90. Large wallets were moving XRP off exchanges into cold storage, which is a classic sign of strategic accumulation rather than short-term trading. This isn't hype, this is methodical buying. And when demand spikes in one of the most active crypto markets in the world, it drains supply globally, making upward price moves easier elsewhere. But accumulation alone doesn't tell the whole story. Technicals matter too, and in the case of XRP, the charts are lining up in a way that hasn't been seen in months. Right now, XRP is forming a classic cup and handle pattern. For those who follow technical analysis, this is a bullish continuation pattern. XRP spent months forming the rounded cup, and now the handle is shaping up. If the price breaks above the handle with strong volume, the technical targets point toward $5 to $6. On top of that, a symmetrical triangle has been forming, with higher lows and lower highs compressing into a tight range. This kind of consolidation usually precedes a strong breakout, and the key support level at $2.85, reinforced by Korean accumulation, is holding firm. Momentum indicators like the RSI are rising from oversold zones, and MACD crossovers are turning bullish. Fibonacci extensions place the next cluster of resistance at $5.20 to $5.50, which coincidentally aligns with that $5 psychological target. And that brings us to why $5 matters beyond charts. Round numbers in trading aren't just arbitrary. They act as psychological magnets. Investors love clean milestones. $5 for XRP represents a doubling from current levels and signals to the broader market that XRP is back in play alongside Ethereum and Bitcoin. Break $5 and suddenly, media headlines flip bullish, sidelined investors jump in, and FOMO kicks in. Technicals, accumulation, and psychology are aligning in a way that makes this target far more realistic than a lot of people realize. South Korea may be a relatively small country geographically, but its impact on crypto markets is massive. When buyers in Seoul scoop up millions of XRP, it drains liquidity from global exchanges. That creates a ripple effect, pun intended, that makes it easier for prices to rise elsewhere. Traders around the world watch Korean exchanges closely and a surge there can trigger buying in Japan, Singapore, and even the United States. And some of this buying may not just be retail traders. On-chain data suggests institutional players are quietly positioning themselves. That changes the narrative from hype-driven to strategy-driven, which carries more staying power in a market prone to wild swings. Beyond Korean accumulation, other catalysts are lining up. XRP spot ETF speculation is heating up, with many analysts anticipating regulatory approval in the next year or two. If that happens, billions in new capital could flow into XRP almost instantly. RippleNet adoption continues to expand globally, and as banks adopt the network for payments, the demand for XRP liquidity naturally grows. Regulatory clarity, after years of uncertainty, reduces fear for both retail and institutional investors. Combine these catalysts with Korean accumulation, and suddenly, $5 isn't just possible, it's probable. Some analysts even tie XRP's potential to Bitcoin's trajectory. Models suggest that if Bitcoin breaks $150,000, XRP could easily reach $5. If Bitcoin climbs to $250,000, XRP could theoretically hit $9 to $10. Macro trends matter too. Global crypto liquidity is increasing, institutional participation is returning, and Asian markets are showing growing adoption curves. XRP sits at the intersection of retail passion in Korea, technical momentum, institutional interest, and global macro tailwinds. Of course, risks exist. A sharp Bitcoin correction could drag XRP down. If support at $2.85 fails, momentum may fade. Regulatory delays or new barriers could slow ETF approvals or adoption. But despite these risks, the market structure is improving. Buyers are stepping in at strategic levels. Technicals are turning bullish, and catalysts are stacking up. That's why many analysts still see $5 as the next major stop. Looking beyond $5, analysts are already floating higher targets. $8 is achievable on strong institutional inflows. $10 and above could happen if Bitcoin achieves new all-time highs. Some Fibonacci projections from previous cycles even suggest $13 as a potential target. But the first milestone is $5, and if history repeats, hitting that number could ignite the next phase of XRP's bull run. So here's the bottom line. South Korea has sent a powerful signal by accumulating millions of XRP during the recent dip. Technical charts are aligning with bullish patterns. Institutional catalysts are forming on the horizon. If momentum continues, XRP has a clear path toward $5 and possibly beyond. Now, I want to hear what you think. Will Korean buyers spark the next big XRP rally? Or is this just a temporary hype cycle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button, share this video with the XRP community, and subscribe so you don't miss the next major update. One thing is clear. XRP is on the move, and South Korea just gave the market a powerful signal that cannot be ignored. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.